So having the pleasure of Pietro joining me today, we couldn't let the opportunity pass of him taking us through a brand new watch from a brand called Singer Reimagined. It's not one that I've actually been able to see in the flesh before, and it has got particular resonance with me, not only as a fan of watches, but also of cars. And so, as I said, couldn't let that pass. So we'll be taking a look at that very shortly. Pietro, tell us a little bit about Singer and also the relationship between you and that brand, if you may.
Thank you, Oliver. Yes, it's another amazing story. Like, I guess, your story with your love for cars and motorsports as well. Marco, the owner of Singer Reimagined, is a friend, is a long time friend. We were together at Richmond back in the day, and Marco was the head designer at Panerai. And we built a relationship and a friendship, and these days it came quite natural to collaborate on a project together, because Singer Reimagined is, to me, one of the coolest independent watch brands out there. And I'm so happy that a friend is involved with that. So we have launched a collaboration based on a story, on a genuine story, around the idea of the journey. I'm not into cars as much as you are, and I'm building my knowledge step by step in that as well, but it'll take a bit of time. But I'm very much into traveling. And with this particular project, we explore the different perception of time that we have when we travel, and especially when we travel on the road. So with this timepiece is the Singer Reimagined, based on the Flytrack model by Singer. This is the on-the-road edition, a 10 pieces limited edition. Again, based on an existing model by Singer Reimagined that we have reinterpreted with different aesthetic codes and a style that I really like. I imagine, wearing this on the road trip, and I can see, the time really popping out from this dial that is very minimalistic, if you like, to give a clear indication of the time, and eventually the possibility to actually measure the time. What do you think?
The first thing that hits me is the contrast between the orange and the it's like dark grey as opposed to black. Yeah. I think that's stunning. It's combining that, I think, with a great juxtaposition of modernity of the colors with a very definite 70s feel of the case. Instantly recognizable as Singer. As I said, I've not seen one in the flesh before. But it really does combine those two characteristics exceptionally well. So this is the Flytrack. So that's instant resettable seconds, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it is actually a flyback running second that is giving you, of course, the idea of the watch being in motion at any given time, and also you can on demand set it back to zero anytime you want to measure any event occurring in front of you, basically. So it's not technically a chronograph, but it works like a chronograph. And of course, Singer Reimagined, they've made their name around the idea of measuring time and chronographs in general.
And of course, we will identify with Singer the company that performs wonderful things on old 911s.
Absolutely, Singer vehicle design based in California, and Rob Dickinson being the founder and the owner of that business. Yeah.
It's tentative. I think first of all, I think anyone watching this will want to know what the chronograph feels like, or the movement. Very positive. It's crisp. The second hand resets with almost complete precision. There's very little judder whatsoever. And the noise is pretty satisfying.
Yes, it is.
I think that's something that anyone who's into chronographs and these kind of movements, I think they'll appreciate that.
Absolutely. Yeah, the view on the case back is quite spectacular, of course, thanks to the services given by Agenor, Jean-Marc Viderec's incredible company that collaborates with Singer to create bespoke mechanical movements that are fitted into these, both the track one, which was the debut piece from Singer Reimagined, and these Flytracks as well. So slightly different executions and different functions, as we said, as this is not technically a chronograph, but the view from the case back is absolutely spectacular, I find.
It's I think what was so good about you bringing this watch today is, as I mentioned, this resonates particularly with me. And I watched the interview that you did with Marco, one of the founders of Singer Reimagined. And he, of course, was describing a trip that he did on Big Sur in California many years ago. And I've done that exact the same road. He did it in slightly cooler than me. I did the standard American Corvette. He did in a much more sort of historical Porsche, if I'm not mistaken. But nevertheless, it's a beautiful road to drive. And actually, if you think of a watch that you want to have on your wrist when you are engaging in that kind of pursuit, you want something that is stylish, sporty, but also easily legible. You don't necessarily need any other particular combination other than the chronograph. Or in this say, yes, you've got it has the hacking ability and stop-start seconds. But I think actually, if you're looking for something of that kind of ilk, they've nailed the brief.
Absolutely. Are you into Porsche in particular, and even more so in restored and revamped Porsches from the past?
I would say that certainly the historical models are more ones that I'm inclined towards. A little bit more greater sexiness, if I may say, a bit more curvaceous. The new ones are exceptionally fast and brilliant motor vehicles to whether sit in or pilot. But there's just something about those old ones.
So it's soul over performance
for
in
me,
a way.
yes.
Yeah.
And then one of the reasons why even with the case, it's got this very traditional weaved leather around the outside, and it really sets the tone perfectly. So they've really thought of everything. And so this is a limited edition of how many?
10 pieces, and we have numbered them on the case. This is very interesting. So the serial individual number is etched on the case and is actually in solid gold to actually personalize every single piece coming out of this series. So in this case, it's number 3 that we have here. And yes, we just launched it last week, and we're having a fair amount of interest, inquiries, reservations happening at the moment. Still technically available, so we're having great fun in promoting it. And yeah, I'm glad you like it.
Steel and titanium.
Yeah, so the case is brushed steel with obviously the edges have been polished. You can see all around the silhouette of the case. And then the bezel is in titanium, and the pusher and the crown are in titanium as well. So the overall weight feels kind of well balanced to the piece, and aesthetically gives an extra vintage kind of feel to the aesthetics of the case.
Petr, thank you so much for taking the time out to come and have a chat with me today. Honestly, lovely to see you. And we're going to be spending a lot more time chatting about various topics in the watch world over the weeks and months to come. Especially, it's been great to have a look at the Singer. So the first time I've seen it on the flesh. Very pretty piece and a great collaboration.
Thank you.
That's very exciting. Have you got anything? Tell me what else is coming in the pipeline that you can share with us?
Yes, by definition and naturally with the limited edition, we're always looking forward to new collaborations, new ventures and ways to show our passion for independent watchmaking. So yeah, we have a big project for our 10th anniversary. Believe it or not, it's already 10 years nearly of the limited edition. That will be in 2025. But I can't quite reveal yet what it's going to be about. But we have something happening soon with Ophion. So arguably one of our most successful private collaborations will be released in a second version now. So we are very much looking forward to be launching this in the summer, more or less. And yes, I'm looking forward to seeing how your channel will develop and the topics that you will elaborate on. And definitely I'll subscribe 100%, and I would invite everyone to do the same and to follow you through in this journey that is always something that moves on. No, you never, as a collector, you never reach the actual point where you feel everything is set, everything is done. It's always a journey, it's always a moving thing, isn't it?
Completely. I mean, life is very much like a watch movement. There are always some moving parts. And I think that was one of the reasons why I wanted to develop this channel, to really talk about, again, my own journey and how the collection has expanded and contracted and expanded and contracted continuously. So very much look forward to offer you on. I think that'd be an amazing offer that you'll provide, and very much looking forward to seeing it. Certainly for the basis of this channel. The next episode, I hope those who are really interested in the history of watchmaking, and one in particular, they're going to love it, because this is effectively going to be a comparison of one of the biggest brands in the business with one that was reinvigorated, should we say, a few years ago. I won't say anything more than that. You have to wait and find out. But
I'm looking forward to that.
I think it'll be a good one. So thank you so much for watching. Take care.